their defense as well. But this brand spanking new defensive-minded JRU under Vergel Meneses really showing us what they can do.
Really, Vergel Meneses, well, speaking to him before the start of this summer tournament, said that he picked this up from his days in the Pro League when he had Derek Pomaren as his head coach. And as you see, Vergel Meneses is flanked by Derek Pomaren's chief lieutenants as well, Vic Escudero and Jun Tionco.
So far, things are flowing smoothly defensively for JRU. And a foul committed there by Jake Pascual as we start the second quarter of action. The winner of this match will take on the winner of the San Sebastian and DLSU match at 6 p.m. tonight. That will be not televised on Studio 23, but it will be available to those of you who want to drop by the Filoil Flying V Arena in San Juan. NJ in the corner, plenty of time on the shot clock. Catch and shoot. For number 12, that's Hayes.
Marvin Hayes, the team captain of the Jose Rizal University Heavy Bombers this season. He is also, well, an equivalent of Sudan Daniel in the sense that Coach Vergel Meneses during the summer has opted not to start Hayes, but rather to let the game settle before putting Hayes in. He's a very, very valuable member. In fact, a two-time NCAA Mythical 5 member.
Presence there of Itame forced Karam to give it up and eventually for Beda to turn it over. That's the effect of a 6'8" dude who knows how to handle his body.
6'8" dude who can shoot, who can just lay it in, literally.
Matute from the outside. Bit of a rushed shot for JRU. I'm not sure if that's the kind of play they wanted after getting a turnover from Beda. There is Etame. Game face on. New head coach Vergel Meneses. Aerial Voyager, as they called him. Boy, was he a great player or what? One of the 25 greatest players, pro players, right?
And his attitude towards the game, his character will definitely be translated to his players. Raycon Kabigting is one good example. He's a wingman, and well, I think Vergel Meneses wants to see a little bit of himself in Kabigting.
I don't think he's going to ever see a little bit of himself in anyone. I mean, he's one of a kind, you know, Vergel Meneses. Pascual. Going down the baseline. That's De La Rosa picks up a foul from a heavy bomber. Foul is on Badua, his first personal, so free throws for De La Rosa here. JRU has never led by more than 9 points so far in this match. But with the presence of Itame, it is just plain obvious that the offense of Frankie Lim and the Red Lions have really struggled to get the ball inside to Daniel or to anybody who even tried to get and drive to the basket.
That's because the Heavy Bombers, when they play man-to-man defense in the half court, exert a lot of pressure, not only on the ball handler, but on guys who don't have the ball, guys who are moving around, and that's a staple in the Beda offense, off-ball movement. JRU doing a good job thus far.
Ulangis to Badua. Badua, a three-point specialist, too high. He saves the ball, but to Beda, and the Red Lions are off and running, but the defense is there. Good transition defense by the Heavy Bombers. Fortunately, a foul is called on the play. Here is the slow-mo brought to you by Axe Twist. Axe Twist, the fragrance that changes. Excellent move as the defense was not yet 100% set for the Heavy Bombers. De La Rosa back at the line. 0 out of 3 for him so far. 0 out of 4. You know what you know what he's going to be working on after this game.
Rom De La Rosa in the
violation. It's a substitute free throw.
85 against San Sebastian. Really, Coach Ato Agustin and San Sebastian, one of their primary strategies was to leave De La Rosa in the perimeter. Have him shoot jump shots. Don't have him slash and penetrate. Because that's his primary strength. His shooting is his Waterloo.
1 out of 5 at the line for De La Rosa. Almost a completed steal, but Hayes, excellent tip to Badua. 22-16 JRU. Etame, way out of his comfort zone. Hayes slashed inside with Daniels to protect the basket with a block.
How many of those
9 seconds
are we going to count today, Eric?
I don't even want to get started there. All right, let's get this report from San Beda. Let's listen in to Michelle Mediana.
With how things are going, Coach Franklin pointed two things to the boys. First, he wants the boys to value every possession by taking very good care of that ball. And second, he wants the boys to make sure that the ball ends up with the right guy at the right time for them to be able to properly execute their team plays. Eric and Chris?
Thank you, Michelle. Unfortunately for San Beda, they don't turn the ball over a lot, or they can't really make shots because of the defense of JRU. That's a big problem. That's why they're, back down by the biggest margin, 9 points.
And that was another turnover. That's the 8th turnover of San Beda in this ball game. That was JR Bulangis forcing a bigger Jake Pascual to commit the offensive foul. That just goes to show how tight JRU is guarding even the guys without the ball.
Bulangis, step back. Heavy Bombers failed to pick up the lead to double digits. They're up by 9, the biggest lead they've had so far against San Beda. Hermida guarded by Bulangis. 10 on the 24. Semerat is blocked partially by Hayes. Ooh, traveling violation as Etame was not able to let go of the ball in time.
I just want to point out, in that particular offensive set, they wanted Sudan to seal underneath. But instead, what happened? The very, very small point guard, Hector Badua, JRU jersey number 6, prevented Sudan from making that cut to seal his defender. So that's just team basketball right there. The intangibles working out very, very well. Like
what you mentioned, the tiny little things amount to a lot when the team does it together. And speaking of the team, let's send it over courtside to Patch Gansana to talk about JRU.
With the nice starts of the JRU Heavy Bombers and Joe Etame in the ballgame, Coach expects a more aggressive second quarter this time. A few reminders from Coach. First, they need to tighten up the floor more in the court. Second, keep blocking San Beda balls, and you need to contest their shots more. Third, dive in for those loose balls. San Beda has been using their press against JRU, and Coach reminded them that they need to score on the Red Lions press because they will be using this against them a lot today. Eric and Chris?
Thank you, Patch. Semerat with the offensive board and the putback. They're going to need more on that, as most of the points of San Beda have come from second chance points. They haven't really gotten points off their first attempt. Bulangis, an easy route to the basket. Can you believe how asleep the defense of San Beda has fallen there?
Well, Rom De La Rosa, but I think that's a meek reply. In that sequence, I actually thought that JRU's offense was dead because nobody was cutting to the strong side. And you saw Marvin Hayes pointing to his teammates there, but JR Bulangis just taking advantage of that empty strong side.
And that was right in the face of
the biggest guy on the floor, exactly.
The shot blocking machine, Daniel. We were just talking about how many is he going to get after that block he got earlier, but apparently he's not as aggressive defensively today as he should be. 7-point advantage, 27-20 for JRU. Dangerous pass that results in another turnover by San Beda. Bulangis had to catch up with the ball. Here's Hayes on the post. Hayes off the glass and in. 9-point lead again, the biggest lead of JRU against San Beda. 29-20, 5:15 remaining in the first half.
Intact team along with the Adamson University Falcons. And the guys like Dylan Ababu and Kasim Mirzar no longer there. Who will be the chief gunners in 2010?
The crown definitely up for grabs in UAAP season 73. Another wayward pass by De La Rosa this time, as Beda can't really get their groove on against the defense of JRU. Very pesky